Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Very Biased Opinions coverage of Oxford United. It is the preview show. This week, Oxford United travel to Doncaster for a match that many describe as being intense. We're going to start with Ian talking the news through Oxford, talking what he thinks will happen in the match. We'll then talk through me talking through the Doncaster news and what little research I figured out. I believe they play in Swansea, so, I'm up to date on my facts and figures.
Good.
And then we'll have a conversation about what we think will happen in the match, and then fan videos. Ian, first time ever. Fans have sent in videos with their predictions. We're going to look at them. We're going to talk about them, and hopefully you will enjoy the experience. I know we did.
You will enjoy the experience, and definitely stay around to the end to watch those videos. And thank you in advance to those people that did send them in. Okay, well, thank you, Thomas. Yeah, well, let's talk about Oxford United the week that was. Obviously, it started with a breaking of the curse against Fleetwood Town, which we've talked about on this channel. You can see the review video and the live stream that we did of that. So, great start to the week. Then it went into transfer deadline day of who's going to come in, who's going to go out. The players that went out, obviously, Obita went to Wickham. We talked about that as well. We think it's a good fit for all parties. Nothing against Obita, but, he wasn't here very long, so you're not going to miss him very much. Other than that, players going out, you only have, what is it? Del Boy, where is he? Derek Osei went on loan to Walsall. That's a good decision as well. He needs game time. I think there's a good player in there, but he's not getting any game time at Oxford. He wasn't even named in their official squad. So he needs to get out and get on loan and get playing. But the exciting news is who Robinson was going to bring in. And I think he's brought in 3 really good loan signings. Let's start with Joe Grayson, who is son of Simon Grayson, Fleetwood Town manager. He's a defender who hasn't played a lot, but looks to be pretty decent, can play left back, can play centre back, can play in midfield as well. So ticks a lot of boxes there. It's got a hell of a left peg on him. And as you can see in the game against Wimbledon that he came on and played, he will try and ping 30-yard passes at any point, wherever he is on the pitch. He just cannot stop swinging that left leg and pinging passes. So he's an exciting player to see. Obviously, we didn't talk about it, but we did sign Luke McNally signed in from the Irish League from St. Patrick's. Don't expect to see him playing too much. He's a young kid. He's going to be learning. I think this point maybe to bring him in at some point in the future. Maybe a future Rob Atkinson, you could say. Brandon Barker was a last-minute signing that we've got right at the end. He's from Rangers. He's a winger. Apparently, he's got bags of pace. It's Robinson's lone quest to sign a winger. I think he was travelling he had a winger's boot, and he was travelling the length and breadth of Britain trying to see whose foot would fit in this boot. And finally, Barker's foot did fit. So excited to see him. But the most exciting player I see coming in is Elliot Lee. Elliot Lee is son of another ex-pro, Rob Lee, ex-England and Newcastle international. But he wasn't getting much game time at Luton, but he scored a lot of goals at this level, was played well in when Luton went up a couple of seasons ago. And he's a forward player that can play up front on his own or as a 2, or he could even play wide or just off the forward line as well. So another quality League One player to add to the squad. And it's looking really exciting compared to this time last year where we bitched and moaned about the quality of the recruitment. I think Oxford have done a really good job this time round. Papa John's Trophy, very quickly. We beat Wimbledon 2-0. 3. I'll start that again. We beat Wimbledon 3-1 in the quarterfinal of the Papa John's Trophy. So the draw hasn't been made, but it'll either be Lincoln, Sunderland or Tranmere in the semi-finals. It was an excellent display, really good game of football. The backup players who came in did a really good job, but this was all about Sam Winnall, really. This was all about whether Sam Winnall could start a game and get goals, and he got 2 goals, and he looked really good. He should have really had a hat-trick. He got the first one was a bit of a keeper fuck-up, which he managed to head in where the keeper was in no man's land. Second one was a really good striker's goal, which he finished off a good move. Shadipo always scores on a Tuesday night. He got the 3rd goal in the second half, but Wimbledon had their moments, but really Oxford could have scored loads more goals in this game. They looked really impressive. Everybody got a run out as well, so all the kind of first-team players got a little bit of game time, which was good as well. It's been a great week. Oxford are in a great run of form. That win against Wimbledon broke a club record for wins in a row. Now, I don't want to say they're better than the side Jim Smith had in the 80s, but they're miles better. But All roads are looking good for Oxford United. But remember, this run we've been on hasn't even got us into the playoffs. It's only recovered us from a shitty start. And we haven't beaten anybody really of note, but the challenges did get slightly harder as they went on. But this is a massive test, but it's a test that comes at a good time. Just before you start talking, I think Oxford will win this game 3-1. But it's going to be, I think this game's going to be a lot like the game we had against Hull, where there's going to be times where Oxford are on top, and there's going to be times where we're going to have to withstand a lot of pressure from this Doncaster Rovers side, because they're a really good side as well. I say it a lot, but I mean it in this game. I think the first goal is massive in this one. Just the way Doncaster play, if Oxford can get that first goal, it'll mean they have to break their shape a little bit and come out from their 4-2-3-1, which they like to play a lot. Whereas if Doncaster get the first goal, they can just sit back and just defend like they've done really well over the last few games. And I think it's going to be a real tough afternoon for Oxford if they don't. Can I just quickly do what I think the team's going to be, Thomas?
Of course you can.
Oh,
of course you can, Ian.
I know. I'm aware I've been talking for a long time. I think Oxford will obviously line up with Jack Stevens in goal. It will be Long as right back, Ruffles as left back, Atkinson and Moore in the middle, no surprises. Goran as your holding midfield player. I think the centre two, although I don't want him to play, I think he will play Liam Kelly, and I think he'll play Brannigan. And I think that the pressing that those two do, along with Goran, is going to be really important in this game. Henry on the right. It'll be Shadipo on the left. I don't see any of the new players starting, and obviously Taylor's up front on his own with whoever you pick on the bench. I could even see maybe Matt Sykes not making the bench this time, which is a massive shame. Okay, it should be an exciting game, and it's one I'm really looking forward to. And win, lose, or draw, Oxford fans, it's not obviously winning will be amazing. Losing or drawing won't be disastrous, but we'll still be left with question marks about whether we can beat top sides in this league. And without further ado, I'll throw it over to Thomas, who's done a lot of research on a quality Doncaster side.
So, Doncaster Rovers, Donny Rovers, or as I like to call them, my bells, right? They are sitting third in the table, 3 points off the joint top Lincoln and Hull. They've won their last 4 games. They did have a loss before that, but they'd won quite a few and drawn quite a few. These are the two form teams in the league. They've won 14 matches this year. They've only lost 5 times. As many of you know, Darren Moore is their manager. He's the ex-West Brom manager. He took over this club on the 10th of July, 2019. He's easily doing the best job he's ever done in management here. Admittedly, it's only his second club. But as you said before we recorded, he looks relaxed. He looks like he's handling the stress well. And this club is doing so well, all things considered. They play a 4-2-3-1, and I would expect them to line up like that. But they did change it around and play a 4-3-3 against Lincoln. Clearly, he saw something in that game he wanted to change. I would think against the form team in the league who are scoring goals, Oxford, that he's going to play a 4-2-3-1 to give him that solidity. And I think both sides are basically going to line up looking very similar to each other. Their star player, as far as I can tell, is Josh Sims. He's got 6 assists and a goal. He's a right winger. He's their best player. He was expected to leave in December, at the end of December, January, back to his parent club, but he had an injury, so his loan has been extended to the end of the season. He's picked right back up where he started. He is fantastic.
Faking it. He's faking it.
The important news, Doncaster fans, Benjamin Whiteman, 4 assists and 5 goals. Clearly their best players, one of the best players in the league. He's gone to Preston North End, 1.6 million. In League One, that's a lot of money. That's a huge transfer for them, but it left a hole in their team. In they bring Elliot Simoes and Golan. He's flashed the skill, but hasn't quite shown what he can do. They brought John Bostock in. Anybody who's played Football Manager knows who John Bostock is. Outside of that, not a whole lot you need to know. Omar Bogle has been brought in as backup to Okanahirabiri, if I'm saying his name right. He is their top goal scorer right now.
If any Doncaster fans watch this, the one thing, tell us how to say that name properly.
Yeah, I've actually not an idea.
I think you've done it right, Tom, so I'll give you credit.
Okanahirabiri. But Tyrese Jones-Jules has a severe injury. Doesn't look like he's coming back. So Omar Bogle's backup. Scott Robertson has been brought in from Celtic. He's a midfielder. But the signing of the season already goes to them. They brought in Ellery Balcom, a fantastic goalkeeper from Brentford. He's the England under-21 goalkeeper. Joined on the 6th of January. He's already their starting keeper. He's been absolutely immense. He was fantastic in the FA Cup. Almost got goal of the round. Saved 2 penalties against Lincoln. He looks another level to me when I watch him play. He looks so assured in goal.
Yeah. Gave away one of the penalties, but then redeemed himself.
Because
he didn't have enough to do, so he thought, I'll save another penalty.
Because he's a freaking Don. He's like, yeah, I'll take you down and I'll save the penalty.
Well,
what of
Thomas
it?
Might be, but he's going to have to get used to picking the ball out of the back of the net on Saturday, isn't he?
Most teams do against Oxford. So, breakdown. They've lost Whiteman and Marquise in the last 18 months. That is a hell of a hole to be operating from, and yet they are third in the league. Matt Smith has done an excellent job since Ben Whiteman left, taking up the mantle of the centre midfield. They've scored 38 goals this season. Only Pompey, Rochdale, Charlton, and Hull have scored more. Like I said, Fengini Birhi, the more I say it, the worse it gets. 7 goals. He's their star striker in that respect. They've conceded 21, which means only Lincoln and Sunderland have conceded less.
Oxford?
They get out. They have no star striker, but they have so much depth across the board. Darren Moore deserves as much credit as Carl Robinson for the amount of depth he's managed to convince the board to bring in at this point. Both of these clubs have skill from 1 to 11. They have backup players that you'd be happy to have starting. I think genuinely we're going to see a rock come up against a very hard object, and they're just going to smash into each other until one of them wins. I've already said my prediction. It's 2-1 to Oxford, but honestly, a draw or a win for Doncaster, I don't think anyone's surprised.
I just want to question you on that, because obviously we do the League One predictions video before you've done like a lot more research on Doncaster. Having done more research on them, do you think you're still going to go with 2-1? You still happy with that?
I'm still going to go with 2-1, but I genuinely think it's 30% chance of a win, 30% chance of a draw. These two teams really are fantastic. I'm very impressed in Doncaster, having actually looked into them and looked at the depth of their team. The amount of players they're able to bring in is really important. And their ability to succeed when a big player leaves is testament to the management, the ownership, and the players themselves who've just gotten on with business. Last season, multiple times, you and I talked about it. They were like one of my teams last year. They'd go on these runs and get so close to the playoffs before they'd lose 6 or 7 randomly. This season, that hasn't happened. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Whiteman only just left, but they're doing a really good job recovering from that. And a real quick shout out to James Coppinger. In his 17th season at the club, he said it's going to be his final one. He's 40 years old and he still plays for them.
I think he likes pro wrestling, I think. So every year he says, I'm retired now. And then it's like first day of training, he's back.
I'm going to go, boys.
If you know your wrestling, he's had more retirements than Terry Funk. If anyone knows that reference, good luck.
Ian, really quickly, based on everything I've said, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, I think we've both given our thoughts. I mean, both think it's going to be tight. I mean, I've already said I think it's going to be a lot like the game Oxford had against Hull, and I stand by that. And just going over old ground, there are going to be periods in this time where Oxford are going to have to withstand a lot of pressure, and I'll be amazed if one goal either side wins it. But saying that, it's probably more likely Donny would win 1-0 than Oxford 1-0. So Oxford have to score more than one goal to win it.
Yeah, I definitely think Oxford need to score more 1-1 goal. I think Doncaster are going to score, and at most they're going to concede 2 or maybe 3. But if they concede 3, I think it might be only the second or third time this season they've managed to do that.
I would say even if any side won by 2 goals, it probably not going to be like a hammering or a comfortable.
No, absolutely
it's
not.
just going to be whoever's more clinical, isn't it? Like these games off.
I actually think this game is going to be nuts. I'm really hopeful of a big match here. Both of these sides are looking really good going forward, and both of them have kept a ton of clean sheets. And that, to me, just says we're going to have a lot of shots on target then.
Well, I think we've dwelt on this game long enough, Thomas, and I think it's time to see what some of our very biased opinions fans think of this. This is a news section to the channel, and thank you to the people that have sent the videos in. We haven't had a huge number, but we are going to be doing this every week. So if you haven't done it this week, you will get opportunities to do it in future weeks, and it's really easy to do. Let's start with the first one, which is from massive friend of the channel, Matthew Bowden.
Hi, very biased opinions. I'm Matt Bowden, and my weekend prediction is Doncaster 1, Oxford United 2. Boom. Boom. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Matthew. Thank you very much. Boom, boom is his common catchphrase when Oxford score a goal. He does it all the time in the live streams. And just very quickly, Matthew also runs a YouTube channel. He does the YouTube videos for Oxford Downs Cricket Club. He does a lot of streaming of their games. So definitely go over and check that out as well. Follow his channel, subscribe to it. That would mean a lot to him and mean a lot to us.
And to us.
So we've had one positive one. Let's take a pessimistic view from you-know-who, Thomas.
No, it's not pessimistic, Brother Alan.
Hi guys, Rob Allen here, pessimistic Brother Alan. I don't think we're going to get 10 wins in a row at the weekend. I can see us losing 2-0. Sorry.
Well. Surprise, surprise. Pessimistic brother Alan doesn't think Oxford United are going to win. Also, we've had to cut it out. He also thinks 2021 is the last year Earth exists. He thinks the Kazam Stadium is going to fall down. He thinks Carl Robinson's going to develop COVID. It's all doom and gloom with brother Alan.
Yeah, the glass is always a quarter full, no matter what happens.
There isn't a glass.
Right, let's have something a bit more positive. Let's go to another friend of the channel, Rowan Powell. Thank you very much for sending in your video.
Hi, Very Biased Opinions. I'm a big Oxford fan, season ticket holder. I think it's going to be 2-1 Oxford on Saturday. Be a very close game in the lead up to the playoffs. Come on, Oxford.
Thank you, Rowan. He's like an international man of mystery, Thomas. Does the video in shadow, so you can't quite see what he's doing. He'd be a good poker player. But thank you, Rowan. Nice to see a bit of positivity. But now we get to our final video, and it's a neutral perspective. A neutral perspective from our friend of the channel and Blackpool fan, Tangerine Matt, who is going to give his opinion.
All right, boys. My name's Matt from Blackpool, and being from Blackpool, I have hardly any knowledge about either of these teams. I just watch Very Biased Opinions because they're a sick channel. What I do know is that both teams are in good form. Oxford won like 74 games in a row. Doncaster, though, good form themselves. Like won, I don't know. I don't look at the results. I just know they're in good form. But Doncaster are at home, so I'm going to go. Even though I think Oxford's winning run might come to an end, I think it'll be a 1-1 this game. Up the pool.
Firstly, those are very kind words. For most of you, you've all said something nice about us at some point. But thank you.
I'm an old man. Does sick mean good these days?
Yes. Very good, Alan.
Thank you, then.
Very good. So we got a lot of Oxford wins. I actually think that the only person who's taken a realistic view of this is the final person calling for a 1-1 draw.
I know.
That
I
seems
know.
like
We go for wins. We've got 2 Oxford United wins. We've got a draw from the Blackpool fan, and we have my brother who says they're going to lose. Unbelievable.
I gotta say, and we'll do this for up the pool.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right?
I like the way you got that in at the end as well. That's pretty good.
Genuinely, thank you to all 4 of you. We really appreciate this, and it's a bit of fun, and I think it adds to like your experience of watching us. Before Ian starts talking again, because he does this and he doesn't stop, thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Please, more of you send in videos. Maybe we'll give more commentary on them. But no matter what, you will make it into our coverage. We will see you tomorrow at 2:45 for the live stream. Yet again, Ian will be watching and commentating on the match. I will be talking about nothing to do with Oxford United and genuinely dissuading anybody from paying attention to what Ian's saying.
We need you all there. It's going to be a great game. So if you can watch us with us, it's going to be a great game. If you can watch it with us, it'll be fantastic.